Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant Olson is away this Friday evening before a three-day weekend. Isn't that convenient? I'm Jefferson Robbins. Before we get to tonight's top news stories, and we've got a lot to talk about, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. The Wenatchee Heights camera looking down on the spacious and gracious Wenatchee Valley, heading north up the Columbia River there. An overcast Friday today with a few sun breaks that occurred. Temperatures around the valley peaked about the mid-40s, and we can probably expect them to drop back to near freezing overnight. In other words, it's February in north central Washington. Weather models call for a light mountain snow over the weekend, plus a cold snap seems likely as we progress into next week. NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz will be along a little bit later in this half hour with your full forecast. But now, a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. Local police arrested them, but now federal prosecutors are bringing substantial drug charges against two East Wenatchee men. Governor Jay Inslee said yesterday he would favor some changes to the law that restricts police vehicle pursuits in the state of Washington. And a woman who was turned away in her quest to be booked into the Grant County Jail allegedly committed a property crime to get her wish. But first, our top story tonight. The Wenatchee wastewater treatment plant has received notice of the presence of petroleum, gas, or some other illicit discharge going down sewer drains leading into the plant. The city determined the discharge is from a commercial or industrial business north of the treatment plant. While it does not affect the city's water system, or drinking water, the discharge causes a safety hazard and disrupts the biological treatment of wastewater, which the plant depends on. Businesses who discharge to the city's sewer and stormwater systems can contact the Public Works Department to schedule a visit to discuss requirements. The city reminds folks not to dump petrochemicals, old medications, fats, grease, or disposable wet wipes down the drains. Well, two alleged partners in a Wenatchee Valley fentanyl distribution scheme are now facing federal drug trafficking charges. 36-year-old Sean James Drummond and 29-year-old Matthew Dylan Hendricks are both charged in U.S. District Court in Spokane. Both are from East Wenatchee. Hendricks was federally indicted in December. Drummond was charged in U.S. District Court on Tuesday. Both cases were forwarded by the Columbia River Drug Task Force, which arrested Hendricks with an alleged cache of fentanyl and methamphetamine. Drummond was arrested in a traffic stop December 9th and was allegedly carrying about 500 fentanyl capsules inside a portable safe. Task Force detectives say the two conspired with three other Wenatchee Valley men to sell fentanyl and methamphetamine in the area. The local charges against both men have been dismissed to make way for the federal case. The other three men are still jailed and awaiting trial in Chelan County. Well, a House bill that moved out of committee on Thursday would reinstate police power to pursue vehicles under certain circumstances. A law passed in 2021 toughened the standard to justify police pursuit. The new bill would let officers go after suspects if there is reasonable suspicion of a violent crime, sex offense, vehicular assault, domestic violence, escape, or driving under the influence. Governor Jay Inslee said yesterday he would favor some changes to the law.
I've expressed myself repeatedly on this. I am quite willing to accept some changes in those rules to open up in certain circumstances where officers can have flexibility to do pursuits. I think that is the right approach. We've learned some things since the bill originally passed, so I'm open to those ideas. But obviously I can't sign a bill that doesn't get to my desk. So I hope legislators will continue to discuss that. I hope some bill can get to my desk.
Well, a 23-year-old woman was arrested after she allegedly broke several windows and a glass door at the Grant County Courthouse early this morning. Sheriff's deputies say Lorna Villanueva Ozuna attempted to turn herself in to the Grant County Jail for an outstanding misdemeanor bench warrant, but was turned away due to jail booking restrictions. Police say she then broke several courthouse windows and a glass door and pulled a fire alarm. Both the Freda Police and Grant County Sheriff's deputies responded and found her a few blocks away. She was booked into the Grant County Jail on suspicion of second-degree burglary, second-degree malicious mischief, and tampering with a fire alarm. And when we come back, Soap Lake's Fire Department has a new chief on the job all the way from Arizona. And if State Representative Joel Kretz has his way, Eastern Washington flora will bloom in the very western Washington capital in Olympia. I'm Jefferson Robbins, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
At Prestige Senior Living, we celebrate life at every age. From our cognitive and fall reduction programs to our focus on life enrichment and wellness, we help our residents maintain independence while nurturing mind, body, and spirit. Residents also enjoy a wide variety of amenities and services, including restaurant quality dining, housekeeping, a full calendar of events, and so much more. To learn more or to schedule a tour, visit us at prestigecare.com or call the number on your screen. We can't wait to show you around.
Getting ready for the boating season is easy with the help of Bob File Boats and Motors. Now's the time of year to upgrade your boat from a new motor, a bow mount, installing a state-of-the-art GPS fish finder, or just fixing your trailer lights. Make your appointment today. With marine technology changing fast, the service department stays up to date with the newest developments and factory certifications. Spend more time on the water and less time at the shore. Get ready for summer fun now at Bob File Boats and Motors.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. The new chief of Grant County Fire District 7 started work on Monday. Chief Chris Baker arrived at the Soap Lake Department from Arizona, where he worked as an investigator for the Arizona State Land Department. He has also served in several fire service and law enforcement roles, including as fire chief for rural combination volunteer and paid agencies. The primarily voluntarily run district has been on the hunt for a new chief for several months. Baker fills the position left by former Fire Chief Kirk Shepard, who retired last September. Well, a state legislator from Okanogan County wants better representation for Eastern Washington in Olympia, but it's not how you might think. Specifically, Republican Joel Kretz of the 7th District wants to create a landscape of Eastern Washington native trees on the state capitol campus. Ponderosa pine, quaking aspen, and western larch could soon find their place in a dedicated landscape area of the Capitol under a bill sponsored by Kretz. That legislation moved out of committee on Wednesday with a unanimous vote for full House passage.
Anytime we can highlight the diversity, our state, whether we're talking about, human diversity or nature or the animals and the plants and the foliage, I think is a good thing. And Olympia is really kind of one of those magnets that brings everyone here to talk about issues. And I think this would be a great addition to our campus. So I'm asking for a yes vote.
And I personally, anytime we're planting more trees and flora, it's always good. I think this campus should be representative of the state as a whole, no matter where it's located, and that'll be a good thing. And I love actually that some of these places have, little plaques, names on the tree, tell a little bit about it. So when people are wandering around the campus, they actually might get a little education and learn a few plant species. That's what I've done in my career earlier, so it always matters to me. So definitely encouraging a big yes vote on this one.
Now, the Wenatchee man is charged with possessing child pornography after illicit images were allegedly found on a home computer by a family member. 40-year-old Brandon David Eby was arrested Monday. Wenatchee police say over the weekend, a member of his household discovered images on his computer that was shared by the family while Eby was away at work. The files were allegedly found in a directory that only Eby had password access to. He's been held in the Chelan County Jail since his arrest on $150,000 bail. Prosecutors charged Eby on Wednesday with 2 counts of first-degree child porn possession and 1 count in the second degree. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, an East Wenatchee City Council member tells a very personal story to the legislature in an effort to set price controls for a life-saving drug. That, plus your complete local weather forecast and some sports with Eric Granstrom, still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. An East Wenatchee City Council member testified twice in 2 weeks on state bills to control the cost of insulin for people living with juvenile diabetes. Matthew Hepner is the father of a child with type 1 diabetes, which destroys the body's ability to produce insulin and regulate blood sugar. The cost of insulin has skyrocketed in the last decade to about $99 a vial, which is only a few weeks' supply. 2 bills in the state legislature would cap the cost for people under 21 at $35 for a 1-month supply, and renew an existing law that caps the cost for all insured Washingtonians. State Representative Jacqueline Maycumber is the lead sponsor of the House bill. She introduced Hepner at a hearing last week.
We do have an issue today, and that is those parents that go to bed at night and decide to eat or to keep their child alive, to buy something or keep their child alive. And this bill just lowers that cost. This bill does something that we do with, like I said, many other important things like immunizations for children and now Narcan. And it models this in a way to bulk purchase insulin and provide it for those under 21.
This time last year, I was in Seattle Children's Hospital with my only child in diabetic ketoacidosis, or DKA. Her blood sugars were upward of 700. She was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic, and her fight became my fight. Some things just don't go away. When your 10-year-old girl is strapped to a gurney, with her little arms full of IVs, scared out of her mind, being medevac to Children's, and she looks you straight in the eye and says, "Daddy, am I going to die?" That doesn't go away. And her diabetes, that's not going away either. The daily injections, the finger sticks, the CGMs, and reliance on insulin is not going away for her and thousands of other diabetics across the state from all walks of life. That part of just staying alive is not going away. The intent of this bill is to cover insulin for those under 21 years of age. If bulk buying gets us there, then let's do that. If not, we keep working the bill. We can remove the fear, the stress of insulin coverage so families don't have to go into massive debt to keep their kids healthy, so we don't have to ration insulin doses, so that the kids don't skip meals because they don't have the insulin to cover the carbohydrates at each and every meal. This issue, the coverage of insulin for those under 21, that can go away. And it should go away. And this body can do it. Please support House Bill 1725.
And a good Friday. I hope everybody has a 3-day weekend. We don't. We're working on Monday. We'll talk about that just a little bit later on. Dan Coons filling in for Grant Olson on what turned out to be a nicer than expected day on this Friday. We have more sunshine than was originally in the forecast when I did wake up in Wenatchee Valley this morning. Nice view from our Wenatchee Heights camera, formerly the Cross camera. Changed the name to the Heights camera, not next to the Cross anymore. On another pretty nice winter's day here in the Wenatchee Valley. Look at that. We did it again. Absolutely normal. Our high of 42, low of 28, normal 42 and 28. It's been that way really all week long, nowhere near our record highs and lows, but if there's a weather word, it's kind of just there, kind of benign. Really all week, no more rain, no more snow. The days are getting a little bit longer, about 90 seconds of additional sunlight a day. In fact, we'll have sunrise before 7 a.m. by the early part of next week. All right, let's take a look at tomorrow's highs. If you're going to be out and about on Saturday to get your 3-day weekend, pretty consistent temperatures across the board. 47 in Moses Lake, 48 in Ephrata. Ellensburg, you're going to be windy. High of 46, but it's going to feel a lot colder, very breezy in Ellensburg up in Omak. Usually the cooler spot at 42 degrees. And you can see hovering right around the mid-40s for the Wenatchee Valley and most of our viewing areas for our high temperatures. Again, pretty quiet weather until we get to the middle of next week. We'll get to that. Very little wind, as you can see there. We're going to be pretty right around where we should be. Our normal highs and lows are going to be hovering right around our normal highs and lows right through the weekend. A little bit warmer on Saturday. Mixture of clouds and sun. We're going to be a little warmer on the overnight low tonight, which is why we're going to be a little bit warmer on the afternoon highs over the weekend. Not a bad Saturday at all. Sunday looks pretty good. But a little heads up, if you're going to be traveling over the mountain passes, especially Stevens on Sunday night into Monday, they're going to get a lot of snow. We're not going to get any real snow. As you can see, there's going to be some snow in the Cascades, not really here in the Wenatchee Valley. Monday for President's Day, very nice, very mild, high of 51 degrees. Monday night, a chance of rain, maybe mixed with snow, but as you can see, the overnight low is going to be above freezing. That's going to be downright mild compared to what's going to happen come Tuesday night. Look up north, up in Alberta. That's going to come right on down and pay us a visit, and it is going to get cold. Overnight lows lower than a gopher's basement, and our afternoon highs are going to be about 20 degrees below normal. Our normal high by Wednesday is going to be 45. We're only going to make it to 25. Overnight lows in the single digits, with Thursday looking to be the coldest day of this Arctic air that's going to come down from Canada. It's going to settle in here for about 4 or 5 days before a gradual warming trend. Winter isn't over yet. After a very nice 3-day weekend, it's going to be very active and very cold by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You were warned. From our friends at Apple Valley Honda, here's your forecast in detail over the next 7 days. Again, not a lot to talk about today. Right at our 42-degree high, 28 for the overnight low tonight. A couple of degrees warmer with a little more sunshine on Saturday and a high of 45. Nicer still, warmer still on Sunday. Might even get in a golf game or two with a high of 48. If you have Monday off, not bad at all. High of about 51 degrees. Again, can't rule out some snow in the higher elevations. None down here in the Wenatchee Valley. Little breezy at times Monday and Tuesday, and then the temperatures start dropping like a rock by Wednesday and Thursday with very cold air and temperatures close to record-breaking lows, perhaps overnight Tuesday into Wednesday and overnight Wednesday into Thursday. That's your forecast. Still to come, sports with Eric Granstrom. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this over here. Lifetime warranty.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy finally Friday. Seattle Kraken jumped back into second place in the NHL's Pacific Division with a 6-2 shellacking in Philadelphia last night. Jared McCann got the offense going early. Yanni Gourde scored twice. Seattle began a quick 2-game homestand with the win.
Here's Kevin Hayes. Beautiful play by McCann. Short-handed with Yanni Gourde. A partial 2-on-1. McCann scores! It's a shorty stinger for Jared McCann. And the Kraken are off and running. Draw draws the attention of Scott Lawton. Tolvanen, Schultz, they score! Yanni Gord out in front. The old pepper pot gets the pass. Took a peek at Beniers, now gives Matty the puck. One-timer, Schultz, he scores! With traffic out in front. It's a power play goal from downtown. Rink wide it for Bellows. Good coverage by the Kraken. Gord, breakaway. Oliver Bjorkstrand scores! That's hockey, baby. They won again tonight. They did big, 6-2 over Montreal, no contest. Now, out in front, Gord, what a bounce! Hey, what do you say? Yanni Gord unleashes a rocket. Kraken have 2 at home here, quickly. Detroit's in Saturday, they score, a winding shot. Noah Cates let it go. Nick Delorier was out in front. We'll see if he gets the tip. Beniers will try to make it happen. He does! How's that? Take a hit 200 feet away. Come all the way back. And the Flyers pay the price. 6-1. Noah Cates is 49. Tie up with Schultz. Bjorkstrand, we see it up close. Gord, turnover, flung wide by Cates, poked in. Second goal tonight, Travis Konechny. The Kraken will continue upward in the Pacific Division. Tempers flare, Donato, Bellows, everybody else.
And a little skirmish at the end there. The ice heavily slanted in Seattle's favor. The Kraken outshot the Flyers 30-19. Seattle's back home tomorrow night against Detroit at 7:30 on Root Sports Northwest. Well, the Wenatchee Wild have back-to-back home games in BCHL play tonight and tomorrow. Cranbrook Bucks calling at the Town Toyota Center. 7:05 tonight, 6:05 tomorrow. It's multicultural night tonight. Tomorrow's outdoorsman night. Get your tickets at WenatcheeWildHockey.com. Well, it was a good night for Northwest College basketball teams last night. Angelo, that is Allegri, scored 15 points to lead Eastern Washington over Northern Arizona, 72-55 at Reese Court. Eagles improved to 14-0 in Big Sky play with the win and 20-7 overall. Mohamed Gay had 21 points while DJ Rodman added 18. Washington State cruised past Oregon 80-62 in Pullman. 13th ranked Gonzaga got revenge on Loyola Marymount on the road last night with a 108-65 victory. Lions ended the nation's longest home winning streak last month in the kennel. Julian Strother paced the Zags with 30 points. Well, coming up on the schedule tomorrow, Eastern's hosting Northern Colorado at 2 on ESPN+. Gonzaga visits Pepperdine at 4. Washington hosts Oregon State at 5 on the Pac-12 Network. Washington State hosts Oregon Sunday at 4 on FS1. Well, Haley Van Lith did all she could to will her Louisville Cardinals to a win yesterday against 10th-ranked Notre Dame, but the Fighting Irish came out on top in overtime, 78-76. Haley scored 19 points to go along with 6 rebounds, 5 steals, and 4 assists. Other women's play, Northern Arizona topped Eastern Washington 61-55. Gonzaga beat Pacific 69-58. Coming up tonight, Washington hosts Oregon State at 7, while the Ducks play at the Cougars. Tomorrow, Eastern Washington visits Northern Colorado at 1. Gonzaga hosts St. Mary's at 2. Sunday wraps up the weekend with Oregon State and Washington State at noon. Washington hosts Oregon at 1 o'clock on the Pac-12 Network. Well, the WIAA State Boys Swimming and Diving Championships are taking place today and tomorrow at the King County Aquatic Center in Federal Way. Competing for the Moses Lake Mavericks are Nicholas Moore, Dylan Moore, Sam Molitor, Jay Rodriguez, Ashton McKeon, Damian Pollock, and Killen Shivers. Swimming for the Wenatchee Panthers, Benjamin Madsen, Cody Westra, Austin Elwin, Aiden Grigsby, Nate Carmack, Jonas Malone, and Hayden Riley. Best of luck to them. Mac Classic 34 started this morning at the Tacoma Dome for wrestlers around the state. We'll be watching the progress of 58 boys and 25 girls from 15 schools around north central Washington. Moses Lake leads the contingency with 13 wrestlers in Tacoma, while Tonasket has 11, OMAC 10 between their boys and girls programs. Well, congratulations to the Waterville Mansfield girls basketball team. Shockers took down Moses Lake Christian by a score of 51-38 last night in the District 6 1B championship at Wenatchee High School. School. Pateros ended ENIAT season in the consolation bracket 54-34. The Nannies will face the Lions tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock at a last chance to move on to the state tournament. It was quite a Donnybrook in the boys championship last night to the District 6 1B tournament as Moses Lake Christian edged Riverside Christian 59-58. The final, ENIAT stayed alive with a 38-23 win over Soap Lake. Tigers will face the Crusaders for a last chance at state tomorrow at 12:45. That at Wenatchee High School. Ellensburg remained undefeated on the season with a 73-60 win over Prosser for the District 5-6 2A championship last night to advance to state. Prosser faces Shadle Park in a crossover game Saturday at 6 o'clock for the final chance to move on to the state tournament. The Grandview boys host West Valley of Spokane tomorrow night at 6 in a District 5-6-8 2A crossover playoff. East Valley of Yakima plays at Pullman in a last chance at state also at 6 o'clock. There are a flood of games in Wenatchee and Yakima tonight and tomorrow for the District 6-7 2B crossover playoffs. Tenasket plays Northwest Christian today at 4. Actually, that game's underway. West Valley High School, the place there, Okanagan meets St. George's tonight at 6 at Wenatchee High. Bridgeport faces Liberty Spangle tomorrow at 12:30 at West Valley. Lake Roosevelt takes on Davenport at Wenatchee at 3:30. Liberty Bell has a date with Colfax tomorrow in Yakima at 5 o'clock. Brewster will face Upper Columbia Academy tomorrow night at 6:30 at Wenatchee High School. The 2B boys crossover games will also be at Wenatchee and West Valley. Today, Brewster facing St. George's at Wenatchee High. Tenasket takes on Davenport tonight at 6 in Yakima. Tomorrow, Okanagan plays Lynn Ritzville Sprague Harrington at West Valley at 2. That's followed by Liberty Bell and Northwest Christian. Then at 5 at Wenatchee, it's Lake Roosevelt and Reardon. OMAC will play Freeman tonight at 7 o'clock in the crossover playoff featuring the Caribou Trail League and Northeast A League. Cashmere hosts Lakeside 9 Mile Falls tomorrow at 5 o'clock to get to state. On the boys' side of the District 6-7 1A crossover playoffs tomorrow with OMAC hosting Deer Park at 5 o'clock while Quincy travels to Lakeside 9 Mile Falls. Moses Lake stayed alive at the District 6 4A girls tournament last night with a 47-45 win over Eisenhower. The Mavericks were outscored 30-20 in the second half but held on for the win. Davis won the district title with a 54-42 win over Sunnyside. Grizzlies will host Moses Lake tomorrow night at 6 in a last chance to move on to state. Eastmont hosts Sunnyside tonight in the District 6 4A boys tournament. Tip time at 6 o'clock at Eastmont High School. Tickets can only be obtained online. Check Eastmont's Facebook page for more on that. The other game tonight features West Valley and Davis for the district title. If Eastmont wins tonight, they'll play at the loser of West Valley and Davis tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Whew, busy weekend in sports. Have a great one. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Grant. No, Jefferson. That's right. Back to you.
Thanks again, Derek. Thank you for serious, Eric, for all you do on the sports desk and beyond. You do a great job and enjoy some time off. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz. You can't get enough of him for a look at what's coming up tomorrow on Monday on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Jefferson. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope everybody who can possibly squeeze in a 3-day weekend gets to do exactly that. Monday is President's Day. We are going to be here. I'm doing a show, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Even though it's a holiday, we're going to come in and we're going to do a show. But it's going to be like any other typical Monday Wake Up Wenatchee Valley episode, in that I'm going to be here and my producer will be here and we're going to work. We're just not going to work real hard. Is that fair enough? If you have the day off, sleep in. If you don't, sleep in anyway. And join me for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live and local on President's Day, Monday the 20th. Jefferson, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. And that will do it for our newscast this evening. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or on our website, NCWLIFE.com. Visit us. And remember, if you see news happening, we would like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call, 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Thanks so much for being with us, and try to have a great weekend.